of my arcade, my home arcade here, with a more of an arcade focus, a little bit of a console focus, but really my first love is classic arcade games. Welcome home, Pac-Man, kind of a front door welcome mat, but hey, it works for, hey, welcome home to the arcade. Little Pac-Man, little hanging thing on the knob there. Game room, nice and lit up. So then you open up the door and you come on in to your first room here. It ultimately ended up being a auxiliary room when I realized that I first realized I had a problem. You hear my daughter in the background. She's loving it. She absolutely loves the arcade. Got some of her toys here. But we're just hanging out here. So first things first, wrapping around the room, we've got the Frogger cocktail. All of these original games, everything running a CRT, everything running original hardware. Let's just preface that up front. No shame against Arcade 1-Up or anything else, multi-cades or anything like that. I love playing games, absolutely love anybody that's getting into the hobby or that, you know, whatever you want to play, whatever cabinets you want to own, man, I support it. I just love the original. That's just me, personally me. But yeah, so the Frogger cocktail, running the Geo 7 in there. I love this thing. It's actually the model with the bigger 19-inch monitor and not the 17-inch monitor. So I'm pretty fortunate to have that. Everything works great on this thing. I love it. I've got some collectibles here, some Miss Pac-Man Funko Pops, some lunch boxes, Pac-Man, Atari 2600, a nice little DK plush. And then a working Frogger Coleco. I recently found this thing at an antique store, and I might get more. I don't know yet. I think it's pretty cool and pretty ironic to have the Coleco on the real cocktail, but it's cool. It's actually pretty fun. If you haven't played a Coleco tabletop arcade game, you should play it if you get your hands on one. They're pretty fun. 4 C batteries in the back of that thing, and it's off and running. But I'm a big Resident Evil fan, so again, I'm trying to mix the modern with the retro. So I've got a GameStop pre-order poster here for Resident Evil 7. I've got some action figures, a Licker from RE2 Remake, Nemesis RE3, Jill RE3 Remake, RE2 Leon Kennedy, a barbershop little thing there that I don't think fits anymore. I don't know what I'll put there in the future, but welcome to Raccoon City, kind of the road sign, kind of the camera is picking up that black light heavy. But the black light was really in here because I did have a Kapow fluorescent rug in here at one point, but then I consolidated a coffee table and a couch in here, and you see my wife's I'm still watching Netflix blanket here. But at the end of the day, I've got my 13-inch Sony Trinitron CRT running a nice little Space Invaders plug and play. Why? Because I can't fit a Space Invaders cabinet in here. I am out of space, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I might continue my problem on the first floor of my house. But then I've got the 65-inch LG OLED here. I was watching High Score, the Netflix series. If you haven't watched it, it's pretty cool. It takes you through sort of the beginnings of classic gaming from the arcades into the home console space. But PS5 controller, I got my PS5 back behind the OLED. I've got PS4, PS3, PS2, PS1. I'm a big Sony guy. I've got a couple things down here, some power supply boards for various Williams games. I've got Abby from The Last of Us Part 2. I'm a big Last of Us fan. I'm a big fan of Part 2. I know that's controversial, but it is what it is. Back behind here, I've got a whole bunch of different PCB sets, power supply boards, just random stuff for parts, or maybe stuff that, if I put a switching power supply into, like, say, a Williams game, I've got the old linear power supplies down there. It's kind of a little cubby space. It's there. I've got some blackout blinds here. It's daylight here. Some art, pretty cool art, retro looking art, Pac-Man poster with the game board. And of course we get into our first stand-up cabinet, Centipede, all original. All I've done on this cabinet is literally get it and replace the big blue capacitor. I was getting some wave on the CRT, and I swear to you, that's it. It's been great. I love this thing. I love Centipede. Who doesn't love Centipede? It's the cold arcade classic, beautiful side art, all original, really good condition. You can hear my daughter loves some Robotron. I love it, man. This is what it's all about right here. But Bubbles. Bubbles is our first Williams game in the Williams row, if you will. You can see that I've done a lot of changes to the room. I've got a whole bunch of storage stuff here, random stuff. I got a Pole Position 2 reproduction Well, actually, no, the original Pole Position 2 conversion kit bezel is in here. I deconverted the Pole Position 2. We'll talk about that. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. I've got a back door for various games, a couple different games here. But you can see that it's kind of evolved as sooner as my space has dwindled. I got a whole bunch of games here from different console generations, guides, little toys here. But I mean, it's kind of just, I don't know, it's evolved, and now I've got to find space for other things, right? So I got action figures in this little shelf here and posters behind these cabinets as things have changed, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I mean, I kind of dig it, but hey, you know, we run out of space. That's the problem in this hobby. Sinistar and Bubbles got as a package deal. I have literally done nothing to these cabinets except clean up the boards, change the ribbon cables as are problematic for anybody that owns any Williams games and has dealt with them. All original CRTs, recap the monitor chassis. I do need to put new bulbs in my Bubbles door. But you'll notice with all of my games, I actually put marquee magnets on the coin doors if I can, or my cocktail here, you can see I got Frogger over one of the 25-cent coin slots. I don't know, it's just something I saw another collector doing, and I thought it was cool. I've got the Williams logo here on the Sinistar, but it wasn't really magnetic, so I've got the coin box door housing my Sinistar marquee magnet. It didn't really get very good focus there, but as we continue the loop, we've got an early run Defender. Had some power supply issues with this one early on its life, in my house at least. This came from a Maryland arcade, and it really was well taken care of. Had one other owner past me. Guy gave it to me for a good deal. But I really only cleaned up the board, some ROM chips, some ROM errors there. If anybody's dealt with Defender, you can probably think about some of the issues that could have happened there. But changed out the power supply, put a switching power supply in there, and it's been running like a dream. I've got the original Williams pinball early run coin door here on the Defender, so I'm glad to have that with the 3-slot quarters dollars. Extremely hard game. Anybody that's played Defender, I'm not very good at it. I need to get better, to be honest with you. I love the game. Robotron, probably my favorite game in the collection. Who doesn't love Robotron? I don't understand how you couldn't. It's difficult, but when you start playing and you see all the sounds and all the wonderful colors, and thanks to Eugene Jarvis for this classic, right? It's a beautiful game. I mean, at the end of the day, when I first got this, the neck board was cracked on the Geo 7 chassis. I just flat out got a new Geo 7 chassis in there, and to be honest with you, I haven't done anything else with it. I've changed coin door bulbs, but it's been a really clean game, a really good game. Who doesn't love some Robotron? And then, you know, we start to get into more Atari. Got a millipede here, only changed some caps on the monitor chassis. That's it. This is a beautiful Survivor. This has been in a convenience store as far as I know, and then with one owner. And then really, I'm telling you, look at this, the control panel overlay. I don't know if they just flat out didn't let people smoke near it or whatever it was way back in the day, but I mean, it's just a perfect example of a really good Survivor. A small nick on the front kick plate art, but you know, the coin door, the side art is in wonderful condition. It's just a beautiful example. I've thought about consolidating down to the PED multi-kit and maybe, you know, providing space for another game, but I don't know, man. I love both of these cabinets, and you know, I'm an original collector, so it's just I don't know, man. It's the art on both of these. You say what you will about Millipede's art, but I love the cabinet shape here on sort of that, I don't know, maybe late stage before Warner Communications / I don't know, Atari crash, ET fiasco. I just love the cabinet shape on Crystal Castles, Millipede, you know, all those different games. But Battlezone, I don't know, man. 1980 VR, if you will. Vector game. Problematic because of the game board when I first got it. I mean, it's an interconnect issue. It's a ROM issue. It's you know, it'll kill. You'll get a lot of things that'll lead to the kill light on your Vector monitor chassis. But at the end of the day, got it running up and good. Having a tiny issue on the left tank stick here, but honestly, it still controls really well. And then, of course, just a wonderful game. I'm loving Battlezone in my collection. Had it for quite some time. I don't think I'll ever get rid of Battlezone. The Periscope here, just really unique. And then Afterburner. I got a stand-up Afterburner. Maybe one day in the future, I don't know, 20 years from now, I'll find a deluxe Afterburner like everybody wants. But at the end of the day, having a stand-up Afterburner in your house is enough for me. I love Afterburner. Who doesn't love the late 80s Sega games? The music, just a beautiful game. I haven't done anything to this game. Previous owner took really, really good care of it. It's got a credit button here. I don't mind that at all. Some people don't like that at all. I like just being able to coin up here on a game. And then, you know, everything else is good to go. It's just a wonderful, wonderful game, man. But then we get into some of the, you know, the art on the walls and stuff that I've got. Obviously, I've got a really big acrylic LED arcade sign. I really love this thing. You can hear Afterburner right there. Centipede promotional poster, another arcade sign here as we go into the main room. And this is really where it spawned, right? This is where, you know, when I bought the house, I was like, there's this little hidden room back here. It was a bedroom. And I told my wife, that's going to be my arcade. And then she's like, okay. And then I'm like, yeah, well. This is really the first iteration, right, of my game sets. So, you know, this is really where I kind of went, okay, I'm going to put everything in here, and then I'm going to be good. And then obviously, as with every other addiction, you start to move out in other rooms. So right now, it's pretty loud in here. I like having all my track sounds on. Some people don't. Some people get annoyed. I love it. So if I'm speaking loud, I'm sorry. But just a quick 360 here, right? Candy machine, found that in an antique store. Gotta have a candy machine, right? Galaga, classic promotional poster from Midway, power-up sign, a nice rotary phone. Call it the operator phone. It doesn't work. I don't know. It's a nice decoration for me. 3D printed Galaga sprites. Got these on eBay. Cannot remember where. I'm sorry. But I don't know. I was like, I put two of them together for the double ship, and then I did my best with the shots to keep them nice and, you know, good looking. And then you got some diving sprites, and I don't know, it's black light reactive here for the full health Galaga King ship, if you will. Sonic Shadow Box, no smoking sign. Had something here. Can't remember exactly what it was. I took it off for some reason, but I don't know. You've got the exit sign there with the green exit kind of lettering, logoing. I don't know, nice little touch. You exit out of the main room. Kind of put there before all these other games came in a while ago, but at the end of the day, I still like it. I've got LED, black light LED across the ceiling, some black light ceiling lights to react, security cameras in use. Obviously there's no cameras in here, it's just a little decoration. Donkey Kong board poster, an open sign, right? We get into Space Explorer rugging. Like I said, I had a Kapow version here. It had like, you know, big stars. I don't know, I might put it back with the couch and stuff in here yet. We're just trying different things, but for right now, it's just Space Explorer rug in here. I didn't go for the full carpet. I just find it, I don't know, it's fine for me to have the rug, but reacts well with the black light. Black light bulbs in the ceiling fan. Took out the dome, if you will, for more lighting. Got a blinky hanging from the ceiling cords. Then we get into, obviously, the games. As you can see, right, Asteroids Deluxe. Zero problems with this game. An amazing, amazing survivor. It's just Asteroids Deluxe. I prefer it over Asteroids. Some people say that's blasphemy. Say what you will. I enjoy Asteroids Deluxe. I like the shields over hyperspace. Side art looking amazing. I try to have the game, I don't know, a game that has really good side art as an end piece, right? Because everything else you just slam it together, right? But then, of course, you got pole position. I have a pole position 2 board in there right now. Haven't done a switch or anything. I have a pole position board. This came to me as a converted pole position 2, right? So it was operator had it, as many did in '83. The pole position 2 conversion kit came out, had a pole position 2 marquee and bezel. I don't know, I've deconverted it, but now I have options, right? I can put on the marquee and the bezel if I want to change it. But, you know, I've got both magnets, right? Pole position and pole position 2. A Gorf. Who doesn't love Gorf? Taunting you the whole time. Love it. Dig Dug stool there for my Dig Dug over there. But then you got a Galaga, right? I think I'm having a power supply problem, to be honest with you. I haven't looked at this power supply. This is a more recent pickup in my collection, right? But everything else, I mean, I recapped the monitor. It gets a little dim. I'm thinking there could be some new caps that need to be changed. There's my daughter, Galaxian, Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man. I have high score save kits in all of these, so that's why you can see I have free play, but a track on these. So, you know, honestly, if you're gonna get some of these games that it's like Galaxian or Galaga that have just a standard free play that just doesn't have an attract mode, high score save kits are your best friend, especially for the larger score table. Again, I could consolidate all these cabinets down into, you know, 1 board set or 2 board sets, but I'm not going to do that because I just like this old school feel of having these side by side. Some would say I can have other games in here. I've had some people say that, but you know what? I like having a generation, right? Pac-Man, then Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, then Galaga. A whole bunch of wall art, different Pac-Man wall art. Galaga, no speed limit for pole position, a couple different marquees, a Galaxy full-size marquee in there, Dig Dug, Atari, Game Cave. Pinball Wizard was here. I did have a pinball machine. I'm not a pinball guy. I do respect pinball, but I'm a video guy through and through. A whole bunch of different world's smallest arcades up here on this shelf. I like those little things. Some more art, right? Then you get into Moon Patrol, a wonderful classic Joust, Gyrus. Gyrus is it's a fun game, man. I mean, if you haven't played it, it's a fun game with the soundtrack and everything. A couple other, a pole position 2 operator, advertising poster, exciting new enhancement kit for pole position, a whole bunch of different art. Space Invaders, Dig Dug. A couple different Pac-Man items up here, Pac-Man. But ultimately, guys, yeah, I mean, this is really it, right? I mean, I love the space. Family loves the space. It's just maximizing as much space as I can. I don't have any more than 8 games on a single breaker, so all of these games are on 4 different breakers. Pop them on and everything's good to go. So 2 rooms right now. I think, we have 22 games. But ultimately, you know, I think I'm just really satisfied with, and I play all these games, right? I want games that I'm going to play. Some of these games aren't the rarest in the world, but you know what? Some games are more popular than others for a reason. So let me know what you guys think, and you know, thanks for watching.